So boys, we'll just do a couple more examples on this work. This next question, Peter pays a $1,200 deposit on his holiday and then $185 per month for a year. The cash price of the holiday is $2,700. So that means if he had have had the money, he could have got the holiday for $2,700 straight away. But he's chosen to do it this other way. The first part says, how much did Peter pay for his holiday? Well, he paid a $1,200 deposit. So that's the first thing he paid. Then, added on to that, he has paid $185 every month for a year. So he's done 12 of those monthly payments. If you put that straight into your calculator like that, it will give you the final answer that he paid, which was $3,420. The second part says calculate the interest paid. Now the interest is always the extra amount that he has paid on top of the actual price of the holiday. So he paid $3,420. He could have paid $2,700 if he had the cash straight away. So that extra money, if we subtract those, is $720. So the extra money is interest that he has been charged. Okay, part C. Calculate the balance owing after the deposit was paid. So, he had a cash price at the holiday of $2,700. He had $1,200 deposit, so he paid that. So, what was left to pay was $1,500. So, that's the balance he owed. The next question, and this is where people go really wrong in tests, calculate as a percentage, correct to one decimal place, the flat interest rate charged per annum. Flat means simple, so this is simple interest we're looking at. Simple interest rate. Okay, now they've given you a bit of a hint here. They didn't need to tell you this, but they've told you percentage, so you know you're going to be timesing by 100. And if you look back on when we did simple interest and we did the heading simple interest rate, this is how we worked it out. Because it has to be as a percentage per annum. That's what we're looking for in this question. All right, so to get the percentage, we times by 100. The per annum part, per year, means we have to have this as yearly interest on the top because it's an interest rate. And the amount you borrowed is on the bottom. Okay, the yearly interest. Well, we've already worked that out. It was $720 was the interest, and it was actually over 1 year. So that is the yearly interest. So we're going to put the $720 on the top. The amount he borrowed, remember that the balance owing is the amount that they actually are loaning you. So your loan is $1,500. Put that in your calculator, and you're going to get 48% per annum. I know that looks really high, but sometimes there are places that will rip you off with these things. It would be absolutely crazy to be paying 48% per annum interest to a holiday company because you couldn't afford to pay for it outright in the beginning. All right, our next question. So this is another thing that people can get a little bit caught up in, interest-free terms. When they're trying to get your business, you'll see Harvey Norman and Good Guys and all those companies advertising on TV, and a lot of them will say, and it's interest-free. Nothing is free. So we'll see how this works. Sophie bought a home cinema system priced at $2,100 on interest-free terms for 1 year, with no repayments for the first 4 months. Okay, so what that means is she doesn't have to pay anything for the first 4 months. But for the rest of the year, for the other 8 months in the year, she does have to pay. So all they're doing is delaying her payment. She still has to pay her money. They're just going to divide it by 8 months instead of by 12 months. Okay, so she's going to be paying more by the time she starts paying anyway. So the whole $2,100, she hasn't been charged any interest. Not yet. Looks like she hasn't been charged any interest. She's just going to pay back what it cost for the system, $2,100, over the 8 months that she will be paying it. So that works out she's going to be paying $262.50, which at the moment looks fair enough. But this is how they catch you. So in Part B, they tell you there is a service charge of $12.95 every month for this deferred payment plan. Deferred means putting it off. So it says what percentage, correct to one decimal place, of the purchase price was paid in service charges. So if we analyse the wording in this actual question down here, the word percentage means we have to times by 100 in our working. Then if we read the rest of the words, it's of the purchase price. So it's out of the purchase price. So on the bottom, you want your purchase price. It's out of that. Was paid in service charges. Well, that's the other important word, so that's going to be going on the top. Now, the service charges are $12.95 every month. So that's for the whole year. Even though you're not paying any payment for those first 4 months, they're still charging you a service charge. So it's $12.95 every month for that whole year, so times by 12 months. The purchase price, we know, was $2,100. So now if we total up our service charges on the top there, you're paying $155.40 to them. And if we divide that by 2,100 and times by 100, you're actually paying them 7.4% of the purchase price in service charges. So they've disguised an interest charge as a service fee. So really, you've taken out a loan with them without knowing, and you are paying them interest of 7.4%. So they can call it what they like. Read the fine print when you go into these things. It'll be in tiny, tiny little writing at the bottom. When you read any newspaper ads in newspapers, they will say what they like to try and attract you in the big writing, but there's always very small writing that I can't even see with my glasses sometimes. If you look down the bottom there, it will probably tell you about the service charge. Okay, so it is a really important thing not to get caught with these things. If you want something, save the money. Now you need to practice these questions so that you get good at them because it's not well done in tests.